Hey, good morning, everybody. Yeah, so what we have here is a new addition to the collection. It's a 1954 Matchless G9B. The B is significant. Depending on what sources I have read, the B was made only either 1 year, 54, or possibly 2 years, 54 and 55. All G9s were 500cc inline twins. The B was a 550. The story is the major importer for Matchless, being a British bike in the US, Frank Cooper, was not happy with the fact that everybody else had 650s and bigger engines than Matchless had. And being that we were here in the US, at that time, everybody had money, times were good, we had big, wide open roads, and everybody wanted more displacement and more power. So Cooper took brand new Matchless G9s out of the crate, bored them out to 550s, did some oiling modifications to support it, and tried to convince Matchless to sell them. And Matchless, being a stodgy old British company that they were, said, nah, there's no need. We don't need bigger displacement bikes. And I remember over in Europe or over in England, they had really narrow dirt roads, didn't need a lot of speed or power. But here in America, the largest consumer of motorcycles, we did. So he went ahead and built these G9Bs. Some articles I have read said he built them all. Other articles said that he convinced Matchless to build them, and then Matchless built them. So there's some conflicting stories out there about how it all ended up going down. But the bottom line is, this is one of those. This is an all original paint bike. I received it. I bought it at auction, and I went over the whole motorcycle, changed fluids, fixed some electrical issues so all the lights and everything work, fixed the carburetor, fixed some intake leaks, which I think I still actually have one, but it's better than it was. I'll address that over the winter. New 6-volt battery. It's running a magneto system, so you don't need a battery for it to run, but you do need a battery for lights. And she's a great bike to ride. She's very comfortable, typical British motorcycle. Lots of torque. 550, it's not real fast, but it's very torquey. Here we go. It's a pre-unit design, so separate engine and transmission. It has a pre-monoblock carburetor, which is correct for this, where it has the remote float bowl that feeds into it. They're not the best running carburetors, but that is what's supposed to be on it. Toolboxes on both sides, stock style exhaust. There's your primary cover. The wheels were even painted. The centers of the wheels were painted, which is really cool. Original telehydraulic forks. Beautiful chrome and red gas tank. Move on to the back here. You can see the nice big 2-up seat. These are what they call their jam pot rear shocks. These are actually made by AMC. Interestingly, AMC is the company they were probably the largest producer of motorcycles, producing Matchlesses and AJSs. And later on, also Nortons. They bought Norton. A Matchless and an AJS, they're virtually identical. This was called a G9. The AJS equivalent was the M20, but they were virtually identical motorcycles. All original paint, decals. It's just a really beautiful motorcycle. Over here we got your oil tank, second toolbox. There's toolboxes on both sides. A Berman transmission, which they used until later on they came out with their own, which was then also used in Norton's. Your big timing cover. It has some oil leaks that I need to address. but just a really, really cool motorcycle. I'm really happy to have this in my collection. There's some work I got to do to it. I got gearbox oil leaks, I got engine oil leaks, I got primary oil leaks, more so than what I will typically accept from a British motorcycle. So over the winter, those are going to get addressed. Beautiful chronometric Smith's gauge, ammeter. Smith's gauge was really cool. The chronometrics, they work like clocks. They're not a smooth, steady swing of the needle. It goes in increments, almost like a clock hand would. Nice stiletto, brake and clutch levers, which I really like. Of course, being a British bike, shifts on the right side, which is the wrong side for us Americans. And to make it just a little bit more fun, the pattern is reverse. So it's 1 up and 3 down. Here's your timing, retard, and advance. Because you do that. Basically, it's not that bad when you go to start it. You retard the timing, kick it, and pretty much as soon as it starts, you can flick this to full advance. You don't really ever have to touch that again. You do have a choke, which I don't ever find necessary to use, but it's there if you decide to ride when it's really cold. And again, starting procedure is pretty simple. Push this over to allow fuel to flow. On these, this is your tickler for the carburetor. You give that a nice, good, sloppy tickle. And then come up here, retard your timing. If you're going to use choke, set the choke. And then here's your kickstart lever. Kick it. This bike's typically a 2-kick start bike when it's cold. And then as soon as it starts to run, flick the advance all the way up. It'll smooth right out. You got your horn. You got your high and low beam. Typical British motorcycle from 1954. Just a gorgeous bike. That's about all I have to say about that. I did add the bar end mirror because I don't like not having a mirror. I don't like not being able to see what's behind me. So I added that. Other than that, I say, hey, let's get it fired up and we'll go out for a nice ride. And I'll show you what it's like here in beautiful Pennsylvania during the fall. We got some really nice roads we can ride. And let me gear up and I'll take you along for a ride. Hey, welcome back. Wasn't that a fun ride? Man, that's beautiful out here in Pennsylvania in the fall, with the leaves changing color and whatnot. Hopefully the exhaust note came out nice and clear during the ride. This bike has a really great exhaust note. And those are stock headers and mufflers, so that is exactly how it would have sounded. Has a very nice sound to it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. We may do some future videos on this when I start to work on it over the winter. I have a couple other projects too to talk to you guys about. I know it's been a while since I posted anything, but this summer kind of got away from me. And now that summer's winding down, I'm hoping to spend a little bit more time in the shop on some projects that we have going. So, hey, until next time, hope you enjoyed the bike, the ride, and I'm sure you'll see it again in future videos. Until then, get out in the garage and work on something. Bye.